Hi all, hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm going to give it a go. So you would have seen my Petri dish tester, hopefully, beforehand. It looks okay. It looks like some peas and some gravy and some mash, but other than that, this was basically just me chucking everything in a bowl to see that the resin didn't react. Actually, it looks quite good. Now, the only thing you can just see it in that light is I tried to do the ripple effect, but I used the wrong Mod Podge. I used the matte one, so hence why it looks a little bit cloudy and you can't really see the effect of the ripples. Um, but I'm pretty confident now that I've done the pour. I've done the test of how to mix it. And there's plenty of tutorials. I think I've linked them before, but I will do some shout outs in the description of people that I've used to kind of look at and get prepared for the pour. I don't know why it just becomes a bit of a sort of thing that you put off. I think because I failed with the PVA attempt, my cheap PVA attempt, I kind of don't want to do that again. If it's resin and I don't want to have to dig out the resin, that's going to probably ruin the whole scene. So it's kind of there's a lot riding on it, or it certainly feels like there's a lot riding on it. But essentially, I don't have to reuse any of this stuff anyway. So I'm just going to pour as much in as I can and see what I have left at the end of it. So it's basically pour all of this into one of these, all of this into the other one. Then take them both and put them into this one, and then add some Modeler. This is Vallejo, burnt umber, and that's just going to go in probably 2 or 3 drops. I think I put 2 in for this, and this was obviously a smaller amount. So yeah, I'll do 1, probably 2, and mix it and see what it's like at 2. Because I want it to be fairly dirty looking because it's a relatively slow moving river. So yeah, the scene itself I have set up, so I've added a kind of random random twigs and things to drop in on this side and on the other, so they're just caught up on the side of the bank, as you usually tend to see. This will eventually have more trees around this area and around this area, so obviously it will look a little bit more developed. But as far as the river scene it goes, I've got a kind of main a lighter stone sort of popping out here, because there's some pictures that I had that showed real contrast between some of the stones, so I've added that in there. And you might just have seen my attempt at making some bulrushes, which I think have come out really well. And that's just what was that? That was just like a standard nylon paintbrush, that old one. And I plucked off some bits of it and sprayed it with green fabric dye, and then with a bit of PVA on the end, dipped it into some earth texture from Woodland Scenics, and that seems to have done the trick. So yeah, so I'm pretty much ready for the pour. This has all now been, well, I think I've shown it before, but this is dammed up, so I've got a wood here to try and keep it relatively straight so it doesn't bulge out. But also I put in the frog tape stuff. Getting in loads of brand names, aren't I? But yeah, frog tape is quite good as it, and I've just overlapped it to make sure that nothing comes out of here. At the back, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the amount of PVA that I've used and the material on the base of the river will plug up the hole that was at the back when I did the PVA pour, because obviously I've got a computer screen and things underneath as well. I might actually move my computer screen when I do the pour. And just quickly, yeah, a bit of an update in terms of some of the other things I've done. Over here, you'll notice I've been able to get some of the lights in. These are LED ones. So my problem with this was that I wasn't able to get my drill in to drill the holes, so I've had to wait for a little hand drill, model craft drill, that I've then scored the bottom, so it goes through the insulation onto the shelf wood, and then I can just drill up and fit those. So those are in place. I've got 2 this side, 1 in here at the moment, but there's going to be another one over here. then in the middle will be a station building of some sort. Now, whether it's these two or not, I don't know. I don't know whether this still fit. I keep on, because it doesn't feel right. I think it's not right. But it's okay in its own right. Over here, these benches, as you'll see, these are massively overscaled. These were a online Chinese e-commerce firm that shan't be named, because otherwise people will start throwing stones at me. But they are overscale, even though they were marked as HO. So yeah, not great, but quite good for just sort of placement and getting things in the right place. You'll recognise my style here. So where I have parts of the hill against the baseboard that I can't do much with in terms of static grass, then I tend to use this approach, which is the hanger basket liner, and the hanger basket liner stuck down with PVA, to which I then rip off, leaving me the material from the hanger basket liner, which I can then paint or do whatever with. Here's a willow tree in the making. This is again from said e-commerce site. The base is just wire, and it sort of comes pre-made like that, which is quite cool. And then I've just used, what is this stuff? This is, well, based on Station Road. So I watched Station Road video, and he was suggesting this stuff, which is, what is it? Crikey. Roving, wool roving. So this stuff here. So I've got some green and I've got some brown of this to test that out as a material, but it's quite good. He's used it for doing his brambles and things, and ground cover. So I will probably try using that as well as my usual technique. It's always good to try new things, but this is my attempt at willow, because it can kind of flow over the edges, and that's just stuck on with spray adhesive, and I'll then probably put scatter on and see what we get. It might need filling out, I think, to make it a little bit more realistic. Over on this view, I'm really proud of this tree. It looks great, I think, in a really good position as well. I guess it looks like an oak tree, I think. Maybe the base needs to be a bit wider for an oak, I don't know. Well, no, in scale it probably is right. And then this is the scene coming out of the tunnel. You can see I've got another tree here that I've done as well. I'm pretty happy with it. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit less dense because of the view. Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. So you can kind of see the train coming out of the top of the tree, so out of the tunnel and past the tree, and that's looking okay. I think that's quite a nice scene. I don't know what's going on here with the cow. He's having a nosy. He's probably smelt food in the shed or something. But yeah, that's kind of what where I got to. The edges here as well. This has been prepped, ready for me to put some scenics on it at some stage. Again, it's quite a difficult area, that bit, so it's probably going to stay like that for a while. Yeah, I've put some ballast in as well. So I think this is actually glued down now over here. So that was just a start there to get that in, and then I realised that I hadn't done the point rodding, so I'd stopped before I got any further and created a problem. So yeah, I will get on now and do my resin and give an update later on. Cheers, see you in a bit.